aren't talking to Alton VFW Post 1308 anymore. We are talking to Tony Favilla. How are we doing today, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
Man, free comic book day. This is,
Comic Day is coming up next week.
coming up soon. And you guys can get your hands on one right over with, you guys, Heroic
Adventures, and which is part of Fantasy Books Incorporated.
Okay, thank you. So I was struggling all day. I'm like,
Who am I talking to?
Exactly. I'm like, I know it's a part of it. Now, what part? We'll figure that out. So this is great. I mean, I got to ask you, Tony, right off the bat, how did this journey with the storefront start with you, sir?
Wow. Well, I've been collecting comics since I was about 12 years old. And, as a comic book geek and nerd, your dream is to own a store, right?
Right.
And so, actually, just a little bit of history about fantasy books. So, in the 1980, the first fantasy books opened in Collinsville. So, back in 1980,
Wow.
opened in Collinsville. And over the next decade, it expanded to a number of stores across the Metro East here. And then there was a lull in the comic book industry, you could say. And so a number of those stores either closed or franchised out and changed names. Some of those still exist. And in 2004, my business partner, Steve Unverfurth, and I bought the last remaining fantasy books, which is in Belleville. Steve was actually the manager of the store, and I was a customer. And he was like, hey, do you want to buy the store? And I'm like, of course.
Right.
Who wouldn't want to own their own comic book store? So that started our journey. That was in 2004. In 2006, we bought our first gaming store, which we called Fantasy Games. And that's when we set up Fantasy Books Incorporated, FBI, the nice little FBI.
I love it. I was saw that. I'm like, wait a minute. Do I have an agent coming in here?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So over the next couple of years, we just fine-tuned our business model. We bought a smaller store in Fairview. And in 2011, we merged Fantasy Books and Fantasy Games. The gaming store was called Fantasy Games. Merged those into what is now our flagship store, Fantasy Books and Games in Fairview Heights.
Wow.
And the same year, we bought Heroic Adventures in Edwardsville, bought that under the FBI umbrella. We kept the name because Heroic had been in Edwardsville for a while, and it had some brand identity. We didn't want to lose that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I got to ask, the other team members, I'm sure you guys all have a love for, comics and all of the different, ins and outs of the industry. But what got you guys involved with fantasy books? Can I just say FBI? I like that
FBI.
so much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What got you guys involved? This is awesome. I mean, this seems like a great atmosphere and a great place to be a part of.
After you, please.
Honestly, I'm from Oregon, and I've only been here for about a year, and I was looking for a new community, a new place to call home, and I'm a big nerd, and I found.
It's true.
Thank you, Dan. I'm a big nerd, and I found Heroic, and they were the most welcoming community. And they made me feel at home, and within about 4 weeks of playing Magic there with the gang, I started begging for a job, and they didn't let me go, and I've been there ever since.
Well, there you go. Perfect fit then.
Yep.
So it was just kind of serendipitous, but I found them, and they found me at the same time, and it was kind of... It's home.
Timing is everything, just like, the start of it all and to how we added some members. Now, I got to ask you, what's your favorite part of working with FBI?
Oh, my favorite part has got to be working with the team and working with the kids. I work a lot with kids at the library, so I do a little bit of community outreach, and I work a lot with the Pokemon program, so I get to spend a lot of time playing with kids. I used to be a teacher in my past life, and I get to... Yeah, I get to do that. It's great.
That's incredible. And I mean, really cool. And I got to ask, what brought you onto the team?
Oh, I was just upstairs and they asked me if I wanted to be part of this interview. I don't actually know any of these people. I was like, they look nice. So they invited me up. Now, I've actually been playing at Fantasy Books and Games, which is our Fairview Heights location. I've been playing there for like over a decade. So I play a game called Warhammer, which is a miniatures-based war game. You might be familiar.
I haven't played it, but I know of it.
I mean, if you hate money, it's a great hobby. You should totally get into it. So I've been playing that at the store for 10 years. I've been playing the game since it came out like back in '87. So I've just been in that community, and I realized that there was an opportunity there to build that community for Warhammer. And I started running tournaments and events at the store. And so at one point I was like, I should just actually work here. So I retired from the military, and they hired me, and there you go.
Incredible. Yeah, thank you for your service, too.
Well,
thank you, sir.
Thank you for paying my paycheck.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Unless you haven't been paying taxes.
Oh, well, hey,
Let's
the
not talk about
IRS does listen from time to time.
The FBI is.
So I'm going to ask all of you guys the question: Are comics? Was that always a part of all of your lives, just the collective as a whole?
Oh no,
Yes?
I'm gonna start with this. I never bought a single comic till I started working at the store.
Wow.
Because I play
a
mostly
game nerd.
games.
Oh, gaming,
So I do
yep.
games, I do RPGs, I did some card games, and then I was like, well, comics are cool. But when I was growing up, it was always superheroes, and I'm not really a superhero guy. I like Star Wars, I like
Yeah.
Star Trek,
Yeah, but-
and I realized there's Star Wars and Star Trek comics.
We still hired him.
So I was like, I'm gonna buy all these Star Wars and Star Trek comics, and there's a ton of just really cool books that aren't about superheroes. It's just not my jam. I'm sorry, boss, but it's just not my jam. But now I buy like a ton of comics. Like I'm constantly buying comics because I really
that's
like the different
incredible.
covers, the variant covers, the different art that's presented.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Becky?
About 10 years ago, actually, my friend said to me, he's like, I know that you read novels a lot, but you got to check out comic books. I'm like, comic books are for kids, not an adult thing to do. And he said, no, really, here's this thing. It's called John Constantine. It's called Hellblazer. You got to check this out.
Yeah.
Not for kids
Not
at
for
all.
kids, no.
Not for kids. And I picked it up and read it. He's like, there's this event at this store in Fairview called FBI. He's like, you got to go to it. It's called Free Comic Book Day. I said, Free Comic Book Day. I said, I'm really broke. I can't go. He's like, no, I'll pick you up and take you. It won't cost you anything. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's really free. He said, yeah, it's really free. I said, okay, I'll go with you. And I walked into this store, and it was magic. I can't even tell you what it was like. I stood in a line, and there were people out there dressed in costumes, and there was music playing, and there was an R2D2 droid, like a life-size R2D2 droid, like rolling around.
Yeah.
And when I walked, they were giving out tickets, and it was crazy. It was just madness, and I couldn't believe what I'd been missing out on. I walked through the door, there was free comic books, and I couldn't believe that there was stuff that I was interested in, in this form, and I couldn't believe that that it was really there waiting for me. So my comic book journey began about 10 years ago with Free Comic Book Day.
And I want to ask everyone, what's the comic? We already kind of got yours, Becky, but Tony, what was the one that, started it all?
For me, my stepbrother gave me his collection for Christmas.
Uh-huh.
It was about 20 comics when I was 12.
Wow.
And I was hooked after that. And Avengers 110, I think it was. It's just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I haven't stopped.
That's incredible. And so let's circle into Free Comic Book Day, May the 6th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's going to be a lot of great fun to be had over here with the chance to win one person free comic books for a year?
Well, one person at each of our stores, all three stores, Belleville, Fairview Heights, and Edwardsville. And it's one free comic a week for a year. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Who was the mastermind behind the giveaway?
Oh, gosh. We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
We obviously had to stop during COVID.
Right.
So this is the first time we're bringing this raffle back.
Oh,
but I want to
cool.
say it was my business partner, Steve, and I, and our management team at the time came up with this idea of a way to. So let me back up a minute. So Free Comic Book Day it's a nationwide event.
Right.
Sorry, I'm taking your thunder, but nationwide event. And so we came up with ideas of how to get people to our store compared to some of the other stores in the area. And so we thought about this raffle. And so the logistics are you show up before we open. And in Edwardsville, we open at 10, and Belleville's at 10. And Fairview Heights is 9. Mm-hmm. If you're there before we open, as Becky alluded to, there's a huge line of people. Anyone in line before we open gets a raffle ticket. Wow. And one of those people will win a free comic book every week for a year.
Talk about the incentive to get someplace early, huh?
Yeah.
You got to get to our store extra early since we open.
Yep,
at
since
9.
you open at 9.
We're for the early birds.
Well, and plus, I'm seeing that everyone's going to be able to grab 3 comics of their choice for free.
3 free comics. Yep.
And honestly, there's just so much to do. There's going to be a design a superhero contest for the kids. Anybody 12 and under, they get to use their imagination. We have stenciled forms for them to color in for the younger ones, or for the older ones that want to just use their imagination. We have free form sheets. And this contest, there will be a poll, and the winner is going to be used in our promotional materials throughout the year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they redraw the book, and they redraw the character, and they put it on bookmarks, and we put it on like flyers and things like that.
That's incredible. That is so cool. So there's something for every age group whenever they come in on May the 6th.
Correct.
We'll have some artists there doing characters, and as well as a few surprise guests that you might be surprised to see.
Uh-oh, I'm nosy. I don't know.
Well, it's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
It is a surprise. I'll never tell. But you gotta come to Heroic to find out.
Yeah.
That's right.
You bring up a good point that it's for everyone.
Yes.
So the free comics are categorized. There's some that are for adults. There's some that for teens, and some for younger kids. And everybody gets 3 free comics.
That's incredible.
Fun for everyone.
I just can't wrap my head around this because I'm going, wait, hold on. So you have a chance to win 1 free comic every week for a year. Mm-hmm. You, no matter what, walk in the door, you're able to pick up 3 free comic books. You have the different opportunities, whether it's design a superhero or you name it. I mean, this isn't something you guys kind of develop overnight. This is experience paying off, huh, Tony?
Absolutely. So Becky, when was the first one?
This was first launched back in 2002, but it was designed in 2001 by Joe Field.
Wow.
And it was first launched by the country's largest distributor of comics, Diamond Comics, back in 2002.
That's incredible.
So it's been going on for 20 plus years. And like you said, we've had the opportunity to fine tune it and make it a big fun event.
Yeah.
And it is something for everyone, and it's all day long, and we may even spill over into Sunday if we still have books. You're welcome to come in on Sunday and grab some free comics and get into the hobby. It's an opportunity for people to get a comic that they may already like or read. There's some they don't have a specific Batman, but there's like Justice League, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. There's a Spider-Man, or there are some kids comics, some horror comics. So you can try something that you like, or try something new and get into a new book or series that you may not read.
Well, hell, it's the perfect time. You get it for free.
Yep.
Why not
Absolutely.
try something new when you don't have to pay for it, too? You can check it out. If it works for you, great. You have a new genre, or you have something new. But if you don't like it, well, you didn't spend any money. Win. Hashtag win. I'm liking that.
I love it.
So take me through, and I'll ask all of you guys the atmosphere. We were going to talk for about 15 minutes. We're going to blow by that. We're going to take you to top of the hour with Heroic Adventures.
All right.
And I
like your style.
You know, it's one of these things where whenever you have good people that are so passionate about something, it makes the conversation fun. And I just want to ask you guys about the atmosphere of the storefronts. You know, what's it feel like when you guys are in there, you know, with the customer base? What's the atmosphere like for some folks who haven't been yet?
I will field this question because I have been at the store. So I feel like I live at the store. I was living there for a minute, and they were like, "You can't sleep here."
I sleep under the desk.
Fine.
Yeah,
that looks great. We like selling games, but we really like the community more than that, and we're all about the community in the store. And everybody just is so passionate about the games that they're into, about the comic books they like, about the nerddom, geekdom that they're into. So it's just like people hanging out, talking about all these things that they love, and everybody wants to hear what you have to say. Like, people want to know what your D&D campaign is. People want to know about the new comic that you're collecting. I want to know about the new Warhammer army you're building and painting. And, and we're all just talking about it. And
so
I get to do that every day. It's an amazing job, and they can tell you the same thing. You just get to talk to people that share your interest, and you just have fun with it. Like, we have a great time at the store. Like, it's not like other stores where it's all like stuffy and like, you feel like this need to like be like straight-laced and everything. Go in there, have fun, be a nerd, geek out on your thing that you like, and we're going to be there doing it with you.
Well, and that's what I think is so cool because I'm on fantasybooksinc.com, or as I like to call it now, FBI. You know, that is just so, I love this. I think that is just,
We got to get this guy shirt
today. Yeah, I want a damn shirt. That's exactly right.
Got one.
So I'm looking at your calendar, which I think's great. Not only is it a place to buy, sell, or to buy, and go in, but there's also a bunch of different activities that, we can participate in at these storefronts. Who is in charge of managing the calendar, if you don't mind me asking? Is it a collective thing?
Well, Dan, when we brought Dan on, we knew we were going to do this with him eventually. He may not have known it, but Dan was recently promoted to our events and community outreach.
Right on!
Position.
Congratulations! Yeah.
So Dan is taking on that lead role. Becky at Heroic manages the calendar with me, and
really cool.
We have someone else you do it at your store now.
Right, I do. And there, every day of the week, there's a game that you can come play. There's a community for that game. There's people that are already playing that game. Yeah. I mean, whether it's like the card games, they do a ton of the card games at the Edwardsville store. We do a lot of the miniature games at the Fantasy Books in Fairview. So any game that you're into, you're going to find a night of the week that you can come in and play that game, and there's going to be people there that are already in that game, already in that community, and you can just pop right in and join.
Well, what I like about this too, I'm looking because for me, I'm the worst when it comes to going to things. I mean, I'm just the worst, and I'm honest about it. If it's like, normally I'm a scheduled person,
Sure.
so I like to be home around 7:30, so that way I have an hour of The Sopranos or whatever. Then I get to go to bed, wind down, whatever. But if I miss it by like a millisecond, all hell breaks loose. It's like, oh, now the world's ending. Oh, now I can't watch. Well, this is perfect for me because there's time slots for everybody.
Absolutely.
It's not everything starts at 9 or everything starts at 4. It really is tailored for the person. This is great.
Yeah.
And what I got to ask you, what's your favorite night of the week to be at the store to watch some of this gameplay?
And for me, it's Thursday night. I'm the Warhammer guy. Warhammer has been on Thursdays. It's always on Thursdays. For the decade I've been playing in the store, I've been there almost every Thursday night. And I mean, our group has grown. We're running a lot of tournaments. So we run tournaments every second Saturday of the month. And those tournaments have grown our community that come in and play during open play nights. So you'll find 15, 16 people there playing Warhammer on a Thursday. And that's my people.
Wow. And you aren't kidding about the Fairview Heights location about events going on. I am telling you what, I am not. It almost looks like our calendar, and we cover 18 communities, Oh, my goodness. Well, and I got to ask you, and I'll ask everyone this question because I think it's kind of cool. Was there a genre that you guys hated growing up? Like you said, superheroes don't even talk to me.
Okay, well,
this.
hate is a strong word,
true,
man.
That's true.
You're putting words in my mouth. It wasn't
Disliked.
my thing. I'm just going to go there.
And so, was there one, though, for you, Becky, where you're like, I don't know if I'm into this stuff, that you kind of maybe your attitude changed, your opinion about it changed working here?
I don't know. I've really had an open mind about things.
Yeah.
I wasn't really censored that much as a child. My mom always believed that I should be able to read whatever I wanted without too much restriction. I mean, obviously, there were certain things that reading was not okay to read. But for the most part, I was allowed to read with Will. And I can't really think of anything that I didn't like or anything that was really just not...
Yeah. No, it's okay.
That I wasn't really into.
Anything?
Games.
Really?
When Steve and I bought
Ouch.
the first game, we were like, we have no idea what this stuff is. I'll never forget. The first time I worked at the fantasy game store, I'm used to working at the comic book store.
Yeah.
First of all, you asked a question earlier that I want to address. So I've always been the owner. Since 2004, I've been an owner. And last year, I left my corporate job.
Oh, congratulations.
And I tell people I sell fun every day.
Yep.
And I'm so happy I can't even tell you. So it's amazing. So anyway, I'm used to comic books, and the comic book customer, they come in, they're talking like, wow, who would win, Superman or the Hulk, or, Batman or Superman, all that kind of stuff, and they buy their comics and they leave. The first time I worked at the game store, I see the guys come in, and I'm just like doing my thing and working, and I'm like, oh, they're still here. They're still here. And then the pizza guy comes, and I'm like,
what is going on? These guys are here 8, 9, 10 hours. And I'm like, I don't get it. What is it about these games that these guys are here all day? And Dan said, they're painting their armies and they fight with their armies and stuff. And I'm like, no, what is this? What is this? So I didn't get it. But now it's awesome. Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, the tabletop games. We do board games. It's all just awesome.
So we got 30 seconds left in this. Take us through May the 6th. Once again, when, where, and how much fun are we going to have?
So May the 6th at all 3 Fantasy Books locations, 10 o'clock in Belleville and Edwardsville, 9 a.m. in Fairview Heights. Get in line before we open. You'll get a raffle ticket. One person at each store will win free comic book every week for a year. We're going to have lots of fun. Design a superhero contest. There'll be some surprise guests. 3 free comics for everyone who comes through the door. It's going to be a great time.
That was exactly 30 seconds. That was impressive. We're out of time.
Fire this guy.
We're out of time today. I'll see all of you bright and early back here at 9 o'clock on the dot. And I'll see you guys at the United Way Power the Purse fundraiser this evening at 5:30. So on that note, have a great day and try your best to stay out of jail.